Yep, it's casting day. This is what we're going to cast. It'll be a pattern to make my backing plate for the forge wheel. Should just be a simple rollover or single roll. Just as a side note, this is one of the things I also like about following the Gingery book, that he encourages you to learn how to come up with the tools you need and make them yourself. As opposed to a lot of the modern philosophy, which is to find someone selling the tool that you need and go buy it from them. The Gingery, make your own tool way jives nicely with the New Zealand number 8 wire mentality. Although I suppose an American would call it mend and make do. Or would that be a British expression, mend and make do? I don't know what the American term for it would be. Alright, before I forget, put some vents in. And roll it over. I didn't put any shellac on this pattern, but on the other hand I put a lot of draft on. So I'm hoping that lots of draft will make up for the layer lines. Plus I'm going to be machining it down anyway, so I'm not hugely worried about the finish. It's a relatively thick casting, so I'm going to use a big gate, and I'm going to use a really big feeder, partly because, the other reason is because I also want to make some 32mm stock while I'm at it, which is why this feeder is going to be so chonky boy. I'm still getting used to the mentality of making the tools that you need. I was actually caught out a wee bit when Ironhead65 on Craig's workshop mentioned a button insert tool that he had for his lathe. I asked him, where did you get a 6mm shank holder for a button insert? And he replied, I made it. Oh yeah, you can make them, can't you? I'm going to be separating the mould anyway and blowing it out, so I'm not worried about the loose crack falling down the hole. Now to see if I've been wasting my time or not. The gates now. Is it? Oh, definitely no trouble lifting it. I was hoping that there'd be a little sand core, but I'll have to settle for a dimple, I think. I want to melt down the last of my ingots, so I won't be filming it, sorry. I've been advised by some people that I should probably take this forge or chuck apart and give the insides a good clean, because there's likely to be a load of grit and other crud inside that'll tear it apart if I don't clean it. Because you got to remember, this is the absolute cheapest forge or chuck that Amazon sells. I don't actually know how this contraption works internally. Don't know how well you can see that, but there are these screws here. There's a section in the screw that's missing, and what I think has happened is that underneath it there's a bit of metal pressed through there to retain it in place. So I'm not sure that I can actually get them out, as I have a deep suspicion that that's a press fit. In the interest of being able to get this silly thing out afterwards, hopefully that string doesn't dissolve in kerosene or something equally stupid. Yeah, this is not working. I need a new container. That's what's come out of it already. Put this somewhere to dry. Yes, give the doors a clean. Now for the fun part, seeing if I can get it back in the bottle. Okay. There's a lot of crud in the bottom of this thing, but then there's a lot of dust in it before and I didn't want to clean it. May need a new bench rag after this. Put a lovely coating of oil all over it. Try and make it last a bit longer before it inevitably starts to go rusty. Nothing you can do to stop rust except from putting a coating of oil or some other protective whatever on it. It feels like it moves a lot smoother now. I'm not saying that it was made of rocks before, but does feel smoother. Move these in a bit so that the jaws are covering the threads on the bottom. Right, I've read in the Amateur's Lathe by L.H. Sperry that you always store chucks upside down. The reason being, if you store them this way up, then dust can fall into the inner workings of it, and then bad things happen. Right, I'm reasonably confident about this one. I'll shake that out, I'll get rid of this. Very promising. I think the bandsaw will be the first order of business again. If anyone's got a bandsaw and they're on the fence about whether to get a Starrett blade, yes, the hype is true, get one. Right, I'll keep that to one side. This can go in the remelt pile. I'm going to lower it before I take the spit out, because now I can use the bit to align the hole. And now it's still in alignment. I'm going to bore that out to 20mm to get it nice and precise. And in order to mount it on the faceplate, I shall have to drill and tap some mounting holes in this thing. Just about. Yep. Right, I had set this up this way in hopes of boring out this, but it ain't happening. I may have mentioned that this oil can blimmin' leaks like anything, hence the ice cream container. Hopefully this does not. I may have overfilled it. This is about why I normally don't leave this set thing, because it jolly well hangs on there. Just need to do something about this divot here. I'm trying to adjust this to have as little stick out as possible, but I'm also having to work around the casting. So everybody, please don't scream at me about stick out. I know it sticks out. .something. .something. Now I'm at the point where I need to start actually measuring. .64, if I'm reading this rightly. .5. According to the micrometer, it wants to, all it wants to. Bingo! Right, put these away. Right, let's take these off. These 1, 2, 3 blocks were brilliant. With these I was able to make sure that this wasn't touching the faceplate, so that as the boring bar came through, it wasn't cutting into the faceplate as it did so. I'm always frightened that if I ever do break a tap, it'll be with this sodding tap wrench, because I do not like the amount of leverage such a long wrench puts on the tap. But there are times when it's either this or a pair of pliers to turn it. I was hoping these would be short enough that they wouldn't stick out, and it looks like they aren't. So if they did stick out, I wouldn't be able to machine this side or the outer edge of the hub. That's about 72 mils. Yeah, I had a diameter of this. Oh, that's handy. People keep telling me to try high-speed steel, so I'm going to give it another shot. Okay, that's working reasonably well. Now that I've got this pressed right against the shaft collar itself, it can't back off like it was, so I'm able to finally put in some real tool pressure. I'm getting a very nice surface finish with this high-speed steel. It's a lot slower though. Like, I can't take out huge chunks like I can with the carbide. It's also making the piece heat up quite a bit. There's no way I could have done a cut like that with the high-speed steel. When you see the smoke rising from the workpiece when I'm cutting it, that means that the heat is being dissipated through the oil burning off, rather than the workpiece just getting hotter. So if you see smoke, that's actually a good thing for once. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting that nice shoulder I wanted. The idea behind the shoulder that I'm turning here is that it'll positively register with the back of this. Need to take about 1 millimetre off that. That feels bang on the money. What's the centres for these? Looks to be 84 millimetres. 84 is a bit random. Yeah, which I know to be 20 millimetre. So if I had a mill, I'd just chuck this up in the mill and use the digital readout to make it all nice and accurate. I'm not mucking around spinning wheels all day. I'm just going to take this out and move it. Before I go any further, I might just take this marker off this stuff off. chemical world's way of telling you to stuff off. Works pretty well. Right, let's see if all that's been worth it. I deliberately made the diameter of the backing plate bigger than the diameter of the chuck so that I wouldn't have to worry about the bolt heads hanging off the edge of the plate. Right, let's try it on the second speed, shall we? Yep, no speed wobbles. Third speed now. The lathe isn't shaking itself to bits, so far we're on to a winner. Right, top speed. A true test of concentricity. Well, it wasn't happy, but it did it. And for giggles, let's go to the slower speed since we haven't tried that one for a bit. That's the 4-jaw chuck, a lot more usable now. So work holding should be a lot easier now, which will make the lathe in turn a lot more useful. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.